size correctly.
What's the issue over here?
I think you should talk to him because he already confirmed it with me.
I just asked what's the issue.
She didn't apply your happy hour discount like she was supposed to.
Okay, well, let's not be a bitch. She's gonna get it taken care of. You don't even.
What's your name?
Even in here.
What's your name?
Just be quiet.
Where's your manager? I just recorded what you just said, right? Can I speak to a man?
Good afternoon, St. Louis, and most importantly, Courtney. My name is Danny Davis. I'm the owner of Crafted, and we met briefly last night. I am now coming on here to address what everybody wants me to address and respond to the videos that you're making and dragging Crafted through the mud and trying to destroy my business. I don't know what I ever did to you or what Crafted did to you, but you know what we did. I apologize. I am just addressing like our truth, I guess. You told your truth, which honestly I watched the videos and I'd say that's what I remember too. I mean, you're not lying. It was very accurate. I think the context could have been a little different because, you know, all of your followers are now attacking my business. A personal issue that you have with one of my employees is now ruining a small neighborhood business, a woman-owned business. And then there's been a lot of lies. I don't know how it turned with all the comments and stuff that we've been getting, but I assure you, and I assure everybody out there, and all of your followers, that no, we don't condone like our employees calling customers any name, let alone bitches, and we try to give good service to everybody. That's why it's the service industry, and unfortunately people have personal lives outside of here and stuff happens and it's beyond my control, and then I have to come in and deal with them accordingly. What is unfortunate is I keep on getting all these comments and reviews on all the platforms, and nobody knows whether I fired her or not. And they're threatening us, and I'm getting voicemails and a lot of what is it called? Harassment, which is that sucks. It's not fun. But why it turned so hateful, and it kind of has spun out of control from what it was, and I think that there was a lot of information missing. But from your video, I heard that, you know, we did our due diligence and we diffused the situation and you got to leave without paying your bill. And that's usually how we try to make things better in the service industry whenever you're trying to protect your business. But I don't know how else you would have wanted me to handle that situation, because we, even as you stated, we told her in front of you that wasn't acceptable. She got yelled at that evening. She was even told that she's on permanent probation and off the schedule. But nobody asked before they started trying to sling my business all over everywhere and go at it negatively. And I think there was a lot of information left out, and The other server, left in tears. Like, we were back here for 45 minutes consoling her because she was bawling her eyes out. I have some footage as well from the hundreds of comments and reviews that we've gotten. I can assure you all, none of them have been here, and they certainly weren't here witnessing that last night, because even as Courtney said, there was only like 8 people in here. And I think everybody felt a little uncomfortable by what the events that happened. So, coming from Danny here at Crafted, I apologize to the experience that you had. That is not the experience I want any of my customers to have, because I work really hard at what I do, and maybe it doesn't seem like it to you guys, but this is not an easy business to be in, and we all have personal stuff, and it's not always easy putting that smile on your face, but we do the best that we can. And I know I did. I didn't have anything posted about me yesterday, and but yet I'm still getting the downfall, and so is my business. So I don't know if that's what you meant or tried to do. I hope not, because why would I know you can't control what your followers and stuff say or do as much as I can control the crap that comes out of my servers' mouths sometimes. I can only deal with it after the fact, because if I could control what everybody did, that'd be like, I'd love that. So, but I hope that the next time that you go viral, hopefully it's just for something good, because with your following, and they all got together, like, they could possibly make some change for the positive, and not threaten people with violence, or try to bring down a small business that tried to do the right thing, which you even said. But I'm just throwing that out there. I know I'm not as popular as you are, but just trying to do the best I can. And if anybody out there has any other questions for me, I will do my best to answer them with kindness and grace and integrity and accountability. Because if you ask any of my employees, those are the values that I am always preaching to everybody. So that's why this is a very disappointing video to have to make. But I am sorry you felt the way that you did. And that sucks. I don't like when anybody feels bad. So my apologies, Courtney.
Okay, so I just want people to understand that there was a show called Bar Rescue, and there is a man called John Tapper. I'm trying to, go directly from memory. Craft Beer, or whatever they're called at this moment, they appeared on that episode. Usually when you appear on a lot of these shows like Bar Rescue or Hotel Hell or whatnot or whatever, the guys are there to specifically give you critiques so that your place can be fixed, so that you don't have to worry about shutting down, so that you don't have to worry about losing all of your money. Because in a lot of these instances, in order for these people to fund their business, as the woman said, she said this is a woman-owned business, all this other type of stuff, people have to put up some type of money, equity, liquid cash, whatnot, whatever, right? You got to invest. That's all I'm saying. And 9 times out of 10, these people have put up their homes. They've, put up 2 mortgages or whatnot or whatever. All the stories that I've heard from the variety of episodes of owners who own businesses. So it takes a lot in order to stay in business. And a lot of times, like she said before, she said that night that the business was open, there was only 8 people directly in that bar. That's bad. That is bad for an establishment that serves alcohol and more than likely some food. For you to only have during a night, you only have 8 people. Yeah, that's bad. That is bad. In a lot of these businesses, they are in the red. They're not in profit. They are deeply in the red. They are in debt, trying to stay open, keep the lights on top of trying to pay employees, if they are even paying employees on time. So I said all of that to say this. At no point in time when the black woman was speaking, where we were able to see the recording, did she talk out of tone? Did she raise her voice? At no point in time was she disrespectful. She calmly stated when the white girl came over, she was like, so what is the issue? The black woman stated, well, pretty much everything is completely fine. I already talked to him, so you can, talk to him directly about the situation. The white girl was like, I'm asking you and I'm here, so what is the issue? Again, she's trying to press something that doesn't need to be pressed. If the black woman stated that the situation was handled with the white guy at the bar, the situation was handled with the white guy at the bar. For whatever reason, the white girl felt that she had the ability, as if she was some type of owner or whatnot, to try to press an issue. And then on top of pressing the issue twice when there was no reason for you to sit up there and do it, on top of you already coming over with some type of snarky attitude, you then decided to call the black woman directly out of her name and then told her that she just needs to sit down and be quiet because she hasn't even been here that long. What is your problem? What specifically is your problem? Like, is it the fact that there's not enough patrons there and you know that you're not really going to get tips and that y'all got to more than likely split tips, and that you are struggling at this moment in time because you opted to work at a bar that really is not busy at all, that showed up literally on a TV show in order to help you guys stay directly in business? And I guess obviously from being on the episode, y'all didn't really learn anything. Because coming to the next video dealing with the owner was just, it was a lot of airy response. It wasn't really any type of accountability. She did 8 minutes of beating around the bush. That's all that was. It was 8 minutes of an airy response, beating around the bush, not really taking accountability, responsibility, and acknowledging the issues in that business. The issues, ma'am, are you. The issues are you. If your employees feel that they can come directly to a situation of which the patron already told them that, hey, the situation's already handled, but if you want to know anything further, you can go directly to the guy that I spoke directly to, which is an employee. Y'all work at the same place, so y'all can sit up there and figure out. If your employees feel that they can press an issue that doesn't need to be pressed, that shows you that the management, that leadership is poor. That shows you the fact that you cannot run a business properly if this is how your employees decide to conduct themselves. And then on top of that, for you not even to say, because realistically for me, as I don't even drink, I don't go into bars. But if I was in an establishment and an employee spoke to me that way, I don't want an apology, because you're apologizing because you got caught. You're apologizing because now it's highlighted. What should realistically happen is that person needs to learn a very hard lesson so that they never do it again. They deserve to be fired. Because the only thing that this is going to do, if you allow that person to stay there, is that it's going to give you a bad reputation of which you're already getting. More than likely, before this engagement already happened, y'all already had one, because again, you showed up on John Tapper's show. You called out to him. He didn't call out to you. So like I said before, this is 1,000% ridiculous. And this is what it looks like when somebody does not want to be accountable. This is clear cut right here, what it looks like for somebody not wanting to be accountable. So you mean to tell me that you showed up on John Tapper's show and then years later, now you're on the open web. Now you're on TikTok. Like I said, some people just don't learn. Some people just don't want to learn at all. Like I said, if the owner really cared about her business, you would fire this person. She's probably not going to fire this person because more than likely the individual is maybe a friend of the family. right? Or more than likely a family member, because I'm a little bit bewildered as to why it is that an employee feels that they can directly go to a customer and just, oh, I'm just going to freely speak my mind. I'm going to call you out of your name and basically tell you to sit down and shut up because you really haven't even been here that long. That's crazy. That is crazy. That is crazy. And then on top of that, if there is supposed to be a coupon or whatever applied to drinks and it's for happy hour, if the person is there during happy hour, it gets applied to the drinks. It gets applied to the food or however it is that it works. There is not a set length of time like, oh, you have to be here for 2 hours in order for us to give you the happy hour. That don't even make sense. That doesn't, nobody's going to stay at your establishment for that long just to get a discount. You know this. So to say that you got some, like I said, it's nonsensical. It's 1,000% nonsensical. And this is hugely problematic. But as stated before, it's not going to get fixed. She's going to allow the person to be there. And the person's not going to be fired. And, this is just going to keep going. And this woman is going to keep receiving negative complaints from people who watch the video. This is how the internet works. All you had to simply do is make a 1 to 2 minute video saying, hey, I apologize for how it is that my employee acted. That is not indicative of me or my business. I don't know why they felt the need that to say anything out the side of their mouth. That's not the way that they're trained. So effective immediately, that person is fired. They're no longer associated here. They are no longer on any type of working list or anything like that. We will be accepting applications for people who are more professional that can provide good service to our customers and, practice good faith when it deals with somewhere in the area. That's all she had to say. It doesn't take 8 minutes. That's all, 1 to 2 minutes. And just mean exactly what it is that you say and walk directly in those actions. That's all you have to do. The internet would not have done what it is that they're doing at this moment in time, nor would I have even had to make a video directly about this. But because she did not want to be fully responsible and really acknowledge, because like I said, it's an 8 minute long video for no reason. It's 8 minute long video for no reason, really not saying nothing. But because she didn't really want to attack the situation the way that a real owner should have attacked the situation, this is where we are. But anyways, let me know what you guys think about this video and everything that I stated in the comment description below. And as always, peace, love, and stay tuned for the next video.